have Honey installed?
What's Honey?
Oh, no.
Honey.
Honey is a free browser extension.
Free browser extension.
Free browser extension.
Free browser extension.
That automatically applies coupon codes when you check out online.
Free money, basically.
It's literally free money.
It doesn't make sense to not be using this.
So what's the catch?
There is no catch.
Join Honey. Join Honey.
Join Honey.
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 Honey. Honey.
Honey.
Honey.
Honey.
Honey. Honey. Honey.
Join Honey.
That mashup of honey ads from YouTube influencers was from a video that went mega viral this week from Megalag, exposing the honey influencer scam. That's what the video is called. But here's the problem. The honey influencer scam, at least the way that he says it, is not actually a scam. I do think that there's some dubious stuff that Honey is doing. I think that there's some definite problems here, but a scam requires dishonesty. And I don't think that at least what he's saying they did was dishonest. And we're going to get into it because I think that there's a big problem here with what we're calling a scam. And I think that it could actually harm people. So I just want to provide another perspective. And this is the perspective of somebody who's been the type of person who's a content creator. The content creators are the people that Megalag is saying got really kind of screwed by Honey. But I'm also a marketer. I know personally a lot of the people who've worked on these Honey campaigns that he's saying are a scam. I know a lot of people who've worked on those over the years. And I think that something should be said for the fact that they were just really doing their job, right? So let's get into it. What does he say that there's a scam? Well, the way that I see it, there's basically 4 parties in this. The first party is the influencers, and that's what this video focuses on. He says that Honey scammed the influencers, and he gets a little bit into the second party at the end of the video, which is the consumers, the people who listen to the influencers and buy the stuff that the influencers tell them to buy, right? The third party is the brands. So if you don't know what Honey is, it's a browser extension or an app that if you put it in and then you go online shopping and then you use it, it'll go scour the internet and it'll find you a bunch of promo codes, or at least that's what Honey says it does, right? So the people who actually use Honey when they're online shopping, those are the customers, those are the consumers. So you got the influencers, consumers, and then the third is the brands that are giving away these discount codes, or who are, the consumers are getting discounts on their website by using Honey. That's the third party here. And the fourth party is Honey themselves. Megalag essentially uses this video, and it sounds like he's going to use 2 more videos to paint Honey as the bad guy in all of this, right? In this video, he paints influencers as the victim and consumers as the victims. I think in the next video, at least from the teaser at the end of this video, he's going to paint the brands as the victims. No, I have a lot of insight here. I know the people who've worked on the Honey campaigns. I have worked extensively on the brand campaigns. I consult with maybe 50 of these brands every single week. I've been on over 1,000 consulting calls with these brands that are essentially, getting people using Honey promo codes. I've been on 1,000 consulting calls with them this year. I've worked as the CMO for a brand that was having a lot of people using extension or using promo codes from Honey. So I have a lot of insight into this from the brand side. And I think that we just need a little bit of perspective here, right? So he made this video, and I want to call out that basically the overwhelming response to this video is exactly what CoffeeZilla said here, right? So if we look into these comments, CoffeeZilla, who is one of the biggest sort of like scam exposers on the internet, he said, "This is insanely predatory. Great investigation. Every YouTuber who promoted this should make updates to tell customers what is actually under the hood. We've been sold a lie. Quote, it's free. It's the best deal." End quote. It's not the best deal. It's stealing from the people who actually bring traffic. Can't wait to see the rest. So he's acknowledging that this is a scam, and the victims of this scam are the influencers who've been promoting Honey, the YouTubers who've been promoting Honey in their videos, right? And that's what this video is mainly about. Let's take a quick look at the kind of overview of this video.
So let me show you how Honey's been stealing money from influencers. So let's say you're watching a video on YouTube. If you're into tech like me, maybe you're watching a Linus Tech Tips video. Linus tells you about this free browser extension that saves you money online. You install it in 2 clicks, and boom, you have Honey. Perfect timing, because it just so happens you're looking to buy a new CPU for your computer. You come across another Linus Tech Tips video, and after watching, you're convinced
Oops. Sorry.
you should buy the one recommended in his video. So you scroll down and find Linus's affiliate link to that product. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you click an affiliate link and buy something, the influencer who promoted the product earns a commission for referring you to that store. So you add the product to your cart, get to the checkout page, and hello, Honey says they found you 10 coupon codes. Sweet. You click apply discounts and Honey gets to work. But unfortunately, none of the coupon codes worked. Doesn't matter though, because as Honey has promised us for years, that means we know we've got the best deal. So you complete your purchase, you're happy, your new CPU's on the way, Linus is happy, he's getting his commission, everyone's happy, right? Well, let's quickly rewind and see what was happening behind the scenes. You see, after clicking Linus's affiliate link, you'll notice in the URL, there's a tracking tag labeled short circuit. That's a reference to one of Linus's YouTube channels. And this tracking tag is how Newegg knows who to pay a commission to. We can also see that this tracking tag has been saved on my browser in the form of a cookie that will expire in 30 days. That way, if we only decide to complete the purchase a few days later, Linus will still be credited the sale. It's kind of like when you're at a department store buying a TV and the salesman who helped you gives you a referral card or a receipt with their name on it, so when you eventually get to the checkout counter, the clerk knows which salesman to award the sale to. You can think of affiliate cookies as a digital version of that. So what happened when we got to the checkout page? Well, once Honey popped up, watch what happened to Linus's affiliate cookie after we clicked apply discounts. You see that? Honey came in, removed Linus's affiliate cookie, and replaced it with their own, claiming credit for the sale and pocketing the commission money for themselves. Yeah. Now, if we quickly go back again, we can see what's causing this to happen. After clicking apply discount.
All right. So basically his claim here is that Honey, PayPal, is stealing commissions from influencers by essentially, if they were to pay me, they say, hey, John, we want to pay for you to promote Honey in a video. I say, great. They pay me a flat rate. They pay me $5 grand, 10 grand, something like that to promote Honey in the video. I do it. And then all those people from my channel who go and install Honey, they're watching another video later. And I say, hey, I really like this podcast mic from Yeti. I put my link in the description of this video. They go click that link. If they click that link and buy, normally I would get a commission from Yeti for selling, for referring them. Honey, because now they all have the Honey app. If they click the Honey app and they try and get discounts, then Honey actually steals my commission. And so he's saying that Honey is scamming influencers by not telling them that it's actually taking commissions from them. And this is where like CoffeeZilla stepped in and has said, hey, this is great investigative journalism, and I'm glad you're exposing this. All of the creators should make videos about this. But I have two big problems with this. The first problem is that a scam, in order for Honey to be scamming influencers, all right, let's define the term scam. Let's ask Google. Let's just Google this. Google. Let's define scam. Scam definition. A scam is a dishonest scheme or fraud. Dishonest is underlined, okay? In order for there to be a scam, there has to be dishonesty. So Honey is only scamming influencers if they did not tell them about this, or if they hid this from them, right? I don't know that it's really their responsibility to tell them, here's exactly how we make money, but if they hid this from them, then that's a scam, all right? So that's my first problem is I don't know that they hid this from them. All right, I think he gets into that a little bit, but Megalag definitely doesn't give any evidence that Honey hid this from them. In fact, he kind of shows that it was pretty easy to figure it out later. All right, so that's my first problem with it. The second problem with it, actually, let's just look at that clip now. I think that a little bit later in the video, he asks, or he figures out, like, he kind of asks Honey, and they basically just say, yeah, we totally, if they use the Honey app, then we're getting the affiliate commission.
Now, when I first discovered this was happening, I thought, there's no way. Why would all these high-profile influencers be promoting a company that is actively poaching their affiliate commissions? It didn't make any sense. So to make sure I wasn't going crazy, I went on a Honey testing spree, clicking one affiliate link after another, and it kept happening. But even after all those tests, I scoured the internet to see if anyone was talking about this and found nothing. Okay, there was this one debate about it on the Y Combinator forum, but nothing concrete. Besides that, virtually nobody was talking about this, adding fuel to my doubt. So I figured, screw it. I'll reach out to Honey and ask them directly. And sure enough, they came back to me with the following. If Honey is activated and is the last program used while shopping on a site, it is likely Honey will receive credit for the purchase. I was right, and just like that,
Boom. Okay. They didn't hide this. They didn't hide this from him. It was pretty easy to figure out, right? So in order for there to be a scam, there has to be dishonesty. There was no dishonesty here. They weren't hiding this. This is really, and I think there's a comment here that actually sums this up perfectly. I think if I go down to the comments, from Ice Vlad 148, he said, the classic case of we never even hid that this was a scam. You just never checked what we actually do. We never hid it. You just never checked, right? MKBHD promoted this. David Dobrik promoted this. Emma Chamberlain promoted this. Mr. Beast promoted this. How about a little bit of accountability for them? It's really hard for me to feel sorry for Linus's Tech Tips, which is the channel that he used as his example. It's hard for me to feel sorry for Linus's Tech Tips when this was not hidden from them. This was just a matter of them taking money from somebody and not asking that brand that they took money from, hey, what would make this a win for you? How do you make money? That is like a very reasonable question to ask. And that's what any influencer who's taking money from any brand should be asking that question. Any consumer who's getting sold a product by an influencer should be asking the question, how does this company make money? How does Honey make money? Am I the product, right? This product is free. Am I the product? Social media is free. We all figured out like 8 years ago, oh, that's because we're the product, right? We give it an insane amount of data for advertisers to use to sell us, to send us targeted ads, right? We figured out that we were the product, okay? This is like basic stuff that consumers should be asking. And I think that I don't think that Honey was hiding this. And he has a point later in the video that I'm going to circle back to where he says, I think this underscores that Honey was trying to hide this or trying to make it hard to figure out. But I don't think they were hiding this. And furthermore, even if they were hiding this, all that you have to have is a little bit of common sense and a little bit of like, hey, I am a creator. I'm a media company. I am promoting something to my audience who trusts me. My audience trusts me. Let me not violate that trust. And I came across this comment, and this is what really underscored it for me. This is from Inked Cat Gaming. This is a comment on the video, and he says, quote, where does Honey get the money? And then he attributes the quote to Markiplier in 2019. Now, Markiplier, I wasn't familiar with, but Markiplier is a pretty big creator. So let's see what this guy's talking about. All right, so I found this. What you're about to see here is Markiplier is just like going. I think he's looks like he's a streamer, and he's just kind of making a video. And he's reacting to something else. It looks like he's reacting to a YouTube video, and an ad comes up for Honey, and this ad triggers this little rant that he does.
Can I pause real quick? I have a natural distrust of Honey. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But I naturally distrust Honey. And I don't, okay. All right, guys, all right, we're going to stop. Everyone listen. I don't know what it is, but my gut tells me that nothing in life is free. So where's all these savings coming from? And like the money that people get from Honey, I don't trust it. They push.
Nothing in life is free. Everybody knows that. All the content creators know that already.
So much advertising. They push so much advertising on YouTube. They do brand deals with other YouTubers. I think they've even offered me. And I said, no, because I just don't trust Honey. I have a feeling there's going to, in like a couple years, there's going to be the great Honey conspiracy of like 2022. And I don't know.
A couple years off, but he's basically got it right. Yeah.
What is, I'm sure it's fine. And like, I got no problem with like the concept of an app that like clips coupon codes for you. That's great. That sounds great on its surface, but there's some shady shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it, but why do they spend millions on advertising? And then people are getting money out of it, and then people are saving money out of it, and that makes sense. But the other part doesn't make sense, and then something's going on here. Where's all this money coming from? Where is Honey getting the money? Where's Honey getting all their money from? They should be losing money. In the grand scheme of everything being compared across the internet, shouldn't they be losing an incredible amount of money considering how much they're saving other people and giving to people? Something's going on there. I don't trust Honey. I don't know what it is. I have no evidence to back it up. Everyone that I tell this thinks that I'm crazy, and they're like, oh, Honey's great. I use Honey all the time. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on at Honey HQ? What is it?
Yeah. So look, it's not like, okay, it looks like 2020, 2019, he predicted this. It's not like you couldn't have just asked the question, hey, how do you make money? Right? I'm Mr. Beast. Honey comes to me and says, hey, we want to advertise on a video. Okay, great. How does the app work? Oh yeah, people install it. It's a free app. People install it and they get discounts at stores. Okay. It doesn't cost them anything to use it. No. Does it, and you're going to pay me. Okay, yeah. So you're saving them money. Yeah, we scour the internet for coupon codes. Cool. Makes sense. You're paying me money. You're not charging them any money. How do you make money? Valid question. Asked by a reasonable person. And I don't think Honey was hiding it. And I don't think that it was hard to ask the question that Markiplier is asking here. I think that, when there's a bag of money in front of you, it's tough to be motivated to ask the questions. But the problem is influencers are in the trust game. And you remember at the beginning of this, I said there are 4 parties here. There's the influencers, there's the customers, the people who watch the influencers and download Honey. There's the brands, and I haven't even gotten to the brands yet. The brands that are giving away these promo codes, and then there's Honey themselves. All right. The influencers have the hardest job here because the customers as consumers, we've already proven that we don't ask these questions. You go to sign up for a new social media site and it says, hey, here's our terms of service. Do you agree to it? Let me ask you this. How many times you go read that terms of service? You're like, Article 1, we can use your data and sell it to whoever we want and advertise. Like if you read the terms of service, you probably wouldn't say, you'd be like, you know what? I don't know if I need TikTok. I don't know if I need to spend hours a day just flipping, scrolling through TikTok videos. Like if you read that thing, you would not use TikTok, but lo and behold, everybody uses TikTok. Everybody uses Instagram. Everybody uses Meta. As customers, we've already proven that we don't do this. And honestly, there should be some accountability to us. I remember watching that movie, The Social Network on Netflix and thinking there's like a part of the movie there where they're like, it's not really Facebook's fault. And somebody said, like somebody being interviewed says that it's not really Facebook's fault. Somebody goes, well, whose fault is it? And I instantly thought, people. It's people. Well, people are the worst. We don't look at it. We just download the extension because somebody said it saves us money. It's free and it gives us free money. Look, guess what? If it's free, you're the product. Okay. And probably part 2, because Megalag is making multiple of these videos. Probably part 2 of this video is something about how they're selling your data. And I bet you agreed to it when you downloaded the extension. All right. And that's kind of what Markiplier is saying here is like, I just don't, how do they make the money? Right. The customers have already proven that they don't look into this stuff. The influencers are in the game of trust, right? You buy something that an influencer sells because you trust them. You buy something that an influencer promotes because you trust them. Influencers know this. They're trading on trust. They're a media company trading on the trust of their viewers. If they're not asking the question, how do you make money? That's on them. Okay. And so if they didn't ask the question, how do you make money? And then later Honey comes back and it's, quote unquote, stealing affiliate commissions from them because, somebody watched a Linus Tech Tip videos about a CPU, clicked on his affiliate link, then used Honey, which he promoted and Honey got the affiliate commission. That's actually on Linus Tech Tips. That's on LMG Media, which is Linus Tech Tips' company. That's on him. He's in the business of trust. His company is in the business of trust. His company should have been asking the question, how do you make money? And it wasn't novel. Somebody was doing it, right? Markiplier is actually a pretty good, big creator as well, right? And he said, everybody says you're crazy. Everybody's saying I'm crazy. And Honey has given us money, guys. They're paying us a bunch of money. Stop asking difficult questions. What are you doing? You want the well to dry up? You want the money to dry up? Well, stop asking questions like this, man. What if I find out that they're selling all of my viewers' data to, Russia or something? What if I find out they're selling all my users' data to credit card fraud people? You know, what if you're asking these questions and you just like dig a little bit too hard, man? And I find out that I can't promote them anymore. Like, I would rather just not know, right? That's dubious if that was going on. I'm not saying that was going on, but I think that is to a small degree. I don't think it's conscious like that. I don't think they're saying, yeah, man, stop asking questions. Like, I don't think it's conscious. I think that they're just not asking the question because they're not incentivized to. Show me the incentives, I'll tell you about the actions, right? And they're not incentivized to ask those questions. That's what's really going on here. The second issue I have with the allegation that Honey is scamming influencers, and make no mistake, like, this actually feels pretty risky for me to say, because the default position here is supposed to be anytime any company seems like big, bad, faceless company, bad, influencers, good, right? Influencers are content creators. They're independent business owners, right? But Mr. Beast, like, I'm supposed to be on the side of Mr. Beast, and I'm supposed to be on the side of the creators. And to a degree, I am on the side of the creators, but I have a hard time feeling bad for Mr. Beast and Linus Tech Tips when they're actually pretty big companies themselves, and they're actually the ones that should be asking this question. And they know they should be asking these questions. And if they're not asking these questions, then, I mean, that's kind of on them, and they know it, right? And I think we're going to actually get back to that, because Linus Tech Tips did figure it out. And Megalag is actually kind of mad that Linus Tech Tips didn't tell the rest of the creator community. All right. So hard for me to feel bad for these big creators. I do feel bad for small creators, you know, that maybe like, it's like, yeah, you know, you're taking the risk because you're not a lawyer. You don't have somebody to read through this contract. You don't have somebody to go look into the tech of how Honey makes money. I get it, right? Like, I'm not being sort of like obtuse on this. I understand the point that, like, it's really hard to understand this tech, and most influencers are creative people, and they're not going to take the time to understand it, right? And that's a little dubious. I get that point. What I'm saying is, it's their responsibility. It's the responsibility of a company that promotes another company, a person that promotes another company, to understand how that company, how that product works. Okay. My second problem with this, even if they didn't understand it, or even if they did understand it, his whole point here is that, you know, if you watch a video and in that video I promote a product, and then you click my link, and then Honey takes my commission after I had promoted Honey because Honey paid me to promote them, then Honey is stealing my commission. I take issue with that. I think what Honey has done is actually just pretty good performance marketing, right? That's called performance marketing. I'm supposed to take dollars, advertising dollars. If I'm a performance marketer at Honey, I'm supposed to take advertising dollars and spend them in the most efficient way possible to get the most users possible and to get the highest quality of users possible. How do I get the highest quality of users possible? Well, why don't I go ask Linus Tech Tips, who talks about a lot of products on a lot of the websites that our Honey app, our Honey extension will work on and will get affiliate commissions from? Why don't I go ask him to promote, if he wants to promote our app, and offer to pay his rates? So I go ask Linus. Linus says, or I go ask LMG Media. I shouldn't put this directly on Linus. I go ask LMG Media. LMG Media says, sure, it's $50,000 to sponsor a video, or it's $25,000 to sponsor a video. I don't know how big, you know, I don't know what their rates are, full disclosure. But let's say they say, yeah, it's $25,000 to promote, to sponsor a video. I then say, okay, here's the 25 grand. I just fork out the 25 grand. The way that I recoup that in performance marketing, and the way that I'm going to get measured as the performance marketer, the person who works at Honey, or the agency that works for Honey. And I know these people, right? I know these people. They're not like trying to trick anybody. They're not trying to hide anything. They're just trying to put the best message in front of the best person at the best time, right? The way that I then get measured is, did you get users, and are those users high quality? Okay. So I give Linus the 25K. Linus does not ask me anything about how I make money or what makes it a win for me. He says, all right, here's what we're going to say. Is that cool? And you say, yeah, will you say this and this instead? Great. All right, we're going to do that. Does not ask me anything about it. We're not trying to hide it. You go to the website. They could go to the website and look it up. All right. So then Linus promotes it. I get a bunch of users, and then those users end up buying stuff that Linus recommends down the road, and we get those affiliate commissions. What if I framed it this way? What if I said, hey, what if I went to Linus's Tech Tips and I said, hey, LMG Media, I would like to invest $25,000 in your channel in order for you to promote Honey. The way that I recoup that is from future affiliate commissions. If your users download Honey and then they, go click through your videos and buy stuff from websites in the future, and they use Honey, I get the affiliate commission. And we all know how affiliate commissions don't work. The brands, the third party that we haven't talked about yet, the brands that are selling those products that they're getting, that the consumers are getting discounts on, they're not giving affiliate commissions to multiple people. They're giving affiliate commissions to Honey or Linus, and that's it. So basically you're saying, look, we're going to get future affiliate commissions, but we're going to give you 25 grand now. Some of those affiliate commissions might be commissions that you would have made. What if that was what Linus or LMG Media agreed to? Is it a scam then? Because that is what LMG Media agreed to. They just didn't say it like that. And honestly, it's not on the performance marketer. It's not on Honey to say that. It's on Honey to say, hey, what's your rate? And if LMG Media doesn't come back and say, okay, well, what is a win for you? What are you looking for from this partnership, et cetera, and just says, here's our rate. And you say, here's the money. And then they promote it. Why is Honey any more at fault for this quote unquote scam than LMG Media is? Okay. I think that everybody should take some ownership here. And I am on the side of creators, but there needs to be some ownership. If we just saw that, if we looked at that as an investment in the channel, and the ROI for them is that they're betting on future commissions from users from that channel, we would have no problem with this. But that's exactly what they were doing. All right. And that's my second problem with this whole narrative of they've scammed influencers. Again, a scam requires dishonesty. There was no dishonesty. You could say there was a lie by omission, but I think it's just kind of crazy to think that for every video and every advertisement, they should be like, oh, by the way, here's exactly how we make money. Why should they be any more accountable to do that than the YouTube creator, the influencer should be to ask those questions? I think the influencer should actually be more accountable to ask those questions. If I'm going to promote something and I'm going to leverage the trust that I have with my audience to promote a product, I should be the one asking, how does this product work? Okay. So did Honey scam influencers? No, I do not think so. How about the second category of people? Remember, we have influencers, customers, the brands, the people who are selling the products that the customers are getting discounts on, and Honey themselves. The second category of people, the customers, did they get scammed? My answer here is actually different. And Megalag actually does make some pretty compelling points for this in his video.
Commissions. It's time we talk about how Honey used these influencers to sell you a complete lie. How they sold you a product that was doing the opposite of what they promised. You see, as I was testing Honey across different stores, I was encountering a reoccurring issue. When I reached the checkout page, Honey would claim it couldn't find me any coupon codes. Yet when I searched manually, I found working codes with ease. And even when Honey did find me a code, I was often able to find another code of better value. Kind of strange, given their claim that,
Well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is now a thing of the past.
There we go. Now we're heating up. Now, again, a scam equals dishonesty. Bad value isn't a scam. Dishonesty is a scam. So now we're getting into a potential scam.
The oddity was that Honey would often only find me Honey branded coupon codes, such as Honey 5 or Honey 10.
Yep.
Why would a store only have Honey branded coupon codes? Kind of weird, right? But the biggest red flag was that when I tried submitting the better coupon codes I'd found, Honey wasn't adding them to their database. So why not? Well, eventually I figured out what was going on. It turns out that one of the key benefits for stores partnering with Honey is that they are given full control over which coupon codes go live on the platform, if any at all. I discovered this while listening to a podcast produced by Honey, which appears to be aimed at attracting new businesses to joining their platform.
Let me tell you how this works. And I think he kind of does this, but I think he does it in a way that, again, I think if we're focusing on the third party here, the brands, right? So we're still focused on customers. Did they scam customers? And the answer here may be yes, right? Like whether, that's what we're getting into. But I want to just shift for a second to the third category, right? So we've already answered, no, they didn't scam influencers. Customers, maybe they scammed, or still TBD. But what about brands? I think what he said is like, oh, the brands get to control the promo codes. And let me tell you how this happened. So at first, Honey, and this is, if I'm remembering correctly, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. At first, Honey did do what they say they do. They basically scoured the internet and found the best promo codes out there. And this was a big problem for brands because a lot of times they were making their best promo codes for like big sales and things like that. And in the early days of online shopping, they usually wouldn't like expire these promo codes, right? So tons of promo codes would be floating around the internet, and Honey could really find you very good, legitimately good deals. So all Honey did is they didn't ask the brand's permission. They just created some tech that went and scoured the internet, found the best promo codes, and then they went and signed up for the affiliate program that the brand already had, right? And so this actually, I'll use a story of a brand that I ran. So I used to run, I was the CMO, the chief marketing officer at a brand that had this issue where we had a lot of promo codes floating around the internet, and a lot of people would use these promo codes that we made like 2 or 3 years ago. And it was because they were using Honey. And we noticed that when we went into our affiliate program, so we had a software that ran our affiliate program that basically, you could sign up to be an affiliate. And then, after we approved you, then you would get an affiliate link. Like this is what he's already talked about. And we noticed that a lot of the affiliate commissions were coming from Honey, because Honey advertises so much, we know exactly what Honey is. So what we did is we blocked Honey from our affiliate program. And this is what a lot of brands did, is they said, hey, no, we don't want people finding promo codes that we don't want them to use. These are people who are already going to buy. They're already in our checkout, and Honey's giving them a promo code, right? We don't want that. We don't want to give Honey affiliate commissions for that. But that didn't stop Honey. So what Honey did then is they were like, okay, well, now we're not making money because everybody's blocking us from their affiliate program. So then what they did is they started saying, okay, now we got to approach the brands. We got to be like, hey, just don't block us, dude. Like, you don't have to be friends with us or anything like that, but just don't block us. All right. And, I guess if you don't block us, you know what we'll do? You know what I'll do if you don't block me is I'll go scour the internet and I'll find all those promo codes. And if you block me, then I'm going to let the people use the best promo code that's on the internet, just like I tell them I'm going to. Just like Mr. Beast and MKBHD and all these YouTubers told them, I'm going to give them the best promo code that's on the internet. But if you do block me, if that's what I'm going to do if you do block me. But if you don't block me, here's what I'll do. I'll actually let you control the promo code. All right. So I'll let you go. I'll let you limit it to a 5% or 10% promo code, or I'll let you say, oh, there are no promo codes, right? That's if you allow me to work with you, and just don't block me from your affiliate program, right? So these brands aren't paying Honey. They're not paying Honey directly. They're just not blocking them from the affiliate program. In exchange, Honey is not essentially holding them hostage with all these promo codes that are floating around the internet. Now, the brands obviously know that this is going on, but at the time when Honey was really on the come up, it was really hard to not be held hostage by this, right? You had all these promo codes floating around, and it was really hard to get around that for a couple of reasons. One, cleaning up all your promo codes is difficult to do. Two, usually there's some kind of thing where if somebody signs up for your email list, you give them a promo code, right? You have a pop-up on your website where if someone signs up for your email list, you give them a promo code on their first order or something like that, right? So it's just really hard to clean up all these promo codes yourself. And so, a lot of brands just were held hostage by Honey. And, even though they knew that Honey was being a little bit dubious because they're telling people, yeah, we go and scour the internet for all the best promo codes. They're like, yeah, I guess they do that. They're just allowing me to be the filter for that, at the end, as long as I don't block them from my affiliate program. All right. So that's what a lot of brands did. But brands had choices. What we did at the brand that I ran is we went and we deleted every single promo code. We just said mass delete all promo codes. A bunch of people, we got so many customer service inquiries. Oh, I used this promo code and it didn't work. I used this influencer's promo code and it didn't work. I tons of customer service inquiries, and we had to go through them one by one and be like, okay, this person's legit. Let's give them the promo code. And then we had to only issue limited time promo codes. At first, this was really hard because we would offer a promo if somebody signed up for our email list. We give them a 10% promo. We had to constantly change out this promo code. Now there's some tech that will issue individual promo codes. So as more people started doing what we did, and as more brands started issuing individual promo codes, Honey is becoming a little bit less relevant to brands. It's less convenient for brands. We can, on the brand side, we can we cannot use Honey, right? We cannot allow them to be part of our affiliate program. But any brand that doesn't clean up their promo codes, they will still get held hostage by Honey. And Honey will actually give the customer the best possible discount for any brand that hasn't blocked Honey. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to make that clear of how that went. Now let's get into whether Honey is scamming the customers or not.
Even if Honey knows of a coupon code that offers, say, 20% off, but a partnering store tells them, hey, only share a 5% off coupon, then that's the only discount Honey will apply to your cart at the checkout page. I mean, holy shit. Honey wasn't finding you the best deals possible. They were intentionally withholding them from you for their own financial gain. This completely invalidates Honey's core value proposition to consumers. For years, they sold you the lie that they would find you every working coupon code on the internet and apply the best one to your cart. But nope.
I don't know if they really, and maybe that is true. I think he gets into some of the messaging in a little bit, but like, I think that they can basically still say, we'll find the best coupon code on the internet, which is what they do. It's just, if you're a partnering store with Honey, they don't show them the best coupon code on the internet.
Complete and utter lie. They have literally been feeding you coupon codes that were approved by the partnered stores who were paying them. And can I just say,
I think paying them is not the exact right way to put that. I think not blocking them from the affiliate program is the better way to put that.
the double messaging here is hilarious because on one hand, Honey has appealed to consumers by promising to find the best deals possible. But on the other hand, they appeal to businesses claiming that Honey helps prevent consumers from finding the best deals. It's absurd.
Yeah, that's true. And this is where we get into, I'm not a fan of Honey. Like, as somebody who's been on the brand side, Honey held us hostage. Before there was tech that basically could mitigate Honey, it held us hostage because it was like really hard to clean up all of our promo codes. So I'm not like a fan of Honey here. I'm not a Honey fanboy. I'm not a Honey shill. I've never, like, I don't even use it. I kind of dislike them from a brand standpoint. I think it's just disingenuous to say that they were scamming customers. And I do know some of the people who worked in marketing and worked in performance and worked at agencies that worked for performance for Honey. And I don't think that they were like purposely scamming anybody when they did these media buys with content creators and influencers. I digress. You guys already know that.
Now, when you think about it, this all makes complete sense. I mean, why would any online business pay Honey for sharing their highest value coupon codes with its 20 million users? That's not an appealing partnership whatsoever. So, to make a partnership more attractive, Honey told businesses, hey, if you partner with us and pay...
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nobody really wanted to partner with Honey, right? So they're basically, he's going to say here that they're just saying, oh, let us into your affiliate program.
As an affiliate commission, we'll let you control which discount codes are shared on our platform. And we'll tell our consumers we scoured the internet and found them the best deal possible. Everybody wins. Just not the consumers or the influencers. With this discovery, I decided to do a thorough audit of Honey's advertising campaigns. And yikes, the ads, the sponsorships, everywhere you look, it's lie after lie. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up going down as one of the most aggressive, shameless marketing scams of the century. Just look at this insane list of videos that were sponsored by Honey. According to my data, they sponsored almost 5,000 videos across roughly 1,000 different YouTube channels, racking up an unbelievable 7.8 billion views.
Yeah, so he's going to get into the messaging that they used here. But if this messaging actually does say, hey, we go find the best promo codes and we put them into your cart, that's what we do. And this is all true. What he's saying is if you're partnering store with Honey, you get to control that. Then that is a scam to the consumer. And Honey is complicit. And look, Honey is complicit in that scam. And so are the brands. The brands know how Honey advertises, right? Like, it's not, I guess you could say, oh, the brands don't know what they're saying to get people. Like, that's just already, he just said 7.8 billion views. The brands know how Honey advertises. That's why they're blocking Honey in the first place. So, I mean, look, I'm an equal opportunity blamer here. Like, I'm you could say I'm victim blaming when I'm saying that the influencers didn't get scammed. I'm also blaming my own, content creators and influencers. That is part of that's a community that I'm a part of. And what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to stand up for the community, right? And I'm kind of not doing that here, right? Same thing with the brands and the marketers. Like, that's a community that I'm a part of. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to stand up for that community. And what I'm saying is, if this is true, and that is what Honey's messaging was, and then the brands sort of like complicitly said like, oh yeah, cool, we'll get to control the promo codes, even though we know what you tell consumers, then Honey is complicit in scamming the consumers, and so are the brands.
It's crazy. So now that we have a clearer picture of how Honey operates, let's reflect on some of their claims.
Honey will find every working code on the internet and apply the best one to your cart.
Boom. That is the exact wording that I said. That's the exact wording that I said. If Honey said, if Honey's messaging was, we will find the best working promo code and add it to your cart, then not only is Honey complicit in this scam, but so are the brands. Now, timeline matters a little bit. Maybe they weren't using this messaging when the brands started, like when they started doing that kind of like brand scheme where they'd be like, hey, we're going to hold you hostage by giving people deep discounts on your site unless you stop blocking us from your affiliate program. Like maybe they weren't using this messaging anymore. But look, I'm not trying to bail them out. I just said, I'm going to say the brands are complicit. I'm going to say that the performance marketers that, partnered with Honey and made those decisions at the brand, I'm going to say that they're complicit if that was the messaging. And boom, there's the messaging right there. So yeah, if that timeline overlapped, then yeah, absolutely. Honey is complicit in scamming customers. And so are the brands. So are the brands that partnered with them.
If Honey can't find a discount code for you, then you can rest assured that there's not a single discount or promo code on the internet.
It's a free browser extension that automatically finds you the best promo code for anything you purchase online. You literally don't spend money.
Honey searches the known internet for every promo code ever used. This means you always get the best deals without even trying.
What Honey?
So some of the creators are saying just like they search for the best promo code. They search, which is what they do. Okay. So that, it's dicey. They're doing some fancy footwork. It's like that episode of The Office where he's like, hey, can you tell her that through some fancy financial footwork, I was able to get, I was able to save us money. Let's see if I can find that clip. Hang on.
So due to Michael's clever financial maneuvering, he finds himself tremendously in debt.
That's what that messaging is. It's like, that's some clever messaging maneuvering to say Honey finds you the best promo codes, but they cleverly leave out that part where it says applies it to your cart. But we already saw the ad where it says applies it to your cart. Let's see what else. Sorry.
What he does is take money and they put it in your pocket.
If there is any way to save money on your purchase, they'll find it.
Getting you the lowest prices possible at checkout.
You are always going to get the best deal no matter where you're shopping. Amazon, eBay, Best Buy, doesn't matter. Honey's got your butt covered.
If Honey can't find a code, you have the best deal.
There's a couple, like when he says they find the best deal, I think that's okay. When he says, and this is the stuff we deal with as like performance marketing, like what can you say? What can I say? And I get it. A lot of people are like, yeah, that's why I hate advertising. That's why I hate marketing. Like, yeah, I don't blame you. As a consumer, I sometimes hate it as well, right? I'm just trying to kind of like lift the veil a little bit and also just like distribute ownership where ownership is needed. I think the influencers should take some ownership on this, right? They were the ones who said the thing without understanding how Honey worked. And that, consumers probably should take a little bit of ownership. If something is free, there's no such thing as a free lunch. There's no such thing as free money, right? So if you're getting free money, you're the product. Okay. The advertisers and the brands, the people who work at the brands, the marketers and the brands, they should probably take some ownership of this as well. But yeah, that is the kind of thing where it's like that part where they say they find you the best possible deal. If you can't find a deal on Honey, you can rest assured you have the best deal. So that's the line. They find you the best possible deal. Okay. If they didn't find a deal, then you can rest assured there are no promo codes. Not okay to say. They get you the best deal at checkout. Not okay to say. You can rest assured you have the best deal, by using Honey. Probably not okay to say. They find the best deal. They find the best promo codes. Okay to say. So plenty of examples that he showed there were not okay to say. And fully agree. With that messaging, the creators who said it and didn't understand how the product worked, the marketers who approved it and used that messaging, and Honey itself, at Honey, the marketers are working at Honey, right? Or working for Honey. They're complicit. The creators are a little complicit. Like there's some ownership for them as well, right? And maybe you could say they paid their penance by not getting their affiliate commissions or whatever, right? But yeah, Honey certainly complicit, and that is a scam. I full out will kind of give that to the video. I think he spent basically 20 minutes of this video saying Honey scammed influencers out of affiliate commissions, or 15 minutes of this video saying Honey scammed influencers out of affiliate commissions. Disagree. Not a scam, no dishonesty. Honey scammed consumers by telling them, if you install Honey, we are finding and giving you the best possible deal. That's a scam. There was dishonesty there. All right. So the second group, consumers, customers, they did get scammed. Brands didn't get scammed here, but they are a little bit complicit. And I think that he's going to get into brands in the next one. And this is where I think it's getting a little like, this is kind of why I wanted to make this video, is that I am advocating for ownership. All right. The customers, they got scammed a little bit. Now, I think customers should show some ownership. Consumers should show ownership. Consumers should be savvy. If an influencer sells you a product, ask yourself, does this influencer know anything about this product? For example, I mean, just a random example, not that I'm pulling this from real life or anything like that. If, let's say, a girl who went viral earlier this year for saying an explicit comment in a TikTok street interview, then she leveraged that into a podcast. If she decides to launch, let's just say hypothetically, a meme coin called like the Hawktua meme coin, just as an example, let's say she decides to launch that meme coin. Maybe before you go buy that coin, you should ask yourself, does this person know anything about cryptocurrency? Do I know how meme coins work? Does she know how meme coins work? Is she an expert in like financial or investing that I should actually listen to? And even if she is an expert, have I listened to her enough and used my own filter enough to decide if I trust her? Probably some pretty basic, like if somebody's selling you something, ask yourself, does this person know what they're talking about? Customers should take some ownership. Consumers should take some ownership. Now, if somebody like Linus from Linus's Tech Tips is saying you should install Honey, it goes and finds the best promo codes on the internet and then applies them at your checkout so you get the best possible deal. And if there is no promo code, you can rest assured that you have the best possible deal. Sells Honey that way, then, and you're somebody who watches Linus Tech Tips, you're like, yeah, dude, this guy is a tech person. He knows what he's talking about. He has authority on this subject. I'm gonna do that. Now, again, you should also ask the question, if it's free and it's giving me money, what's the product? Yeah, like how are they monetizing? But like in that scenario, I can see how as a customer, you trust Linus and you should be trusting Linus. You should be trusting Linus's Tech Tips because that you are the trusted source for tech. And that's, again, then that onus is kind of on the creator. The creator should be looking into this, right? If the creator has the expertise, the creator should be looking into this. On the brand side, and I say all this to say, should customers trust influencers? Yes. You should, like, there is actually a principle that, like, you can't know as a consumer, you can't know everything about everything. So you have certain things that you trust other people for, right? If you don't know very much about politics, you have a few trusted sources you go to. That's normal. You can't know everything about politics. You have an everyday job you have to go to, right? Like, I'm supposed to know a lot of stuff about marketing. I can't also know a lot of stuff about politics. I don't have enough time for that, right? The same with you. If you're a plumber, whatever, I don't know. You don't have enough time to know everything about everything. So you have some trusted sources. On the brand side, this is really important because if I have a great product, a truly great product, and I can find the trusted sources about that product, and those sources do their due diligence, then I get an incredible product, backed by great influencers, right? Then I get farmer's dog food, or I get like something that brings true value where it's like, yeah, this is like an actual great product, and people who actually know what they're talking about and are snobs about this kind of thing are the ones that promote it. And, I have to make a great product and have it approved by the people who are going to be a strong filter, right? The Joe Rogans of the world, or the Tim Ferrisses of the world. If I'm AG1, right, the Tim Ferrisses of the world and the Joe Rogans of the world and everyone else who promotes AG1, who like Andrew Huberman, actually know what they're talking about, have to they're snobs about my kind of product. If I can get them to buy in, then I can be confident it's a good product. I can be confident that it's actually bringing value to the world. And so influencers are important because they are the filter if they act like it. Okay. So yeah, customers, we're a little scammed here. Influencers, we're not very scammed here. And I am advocating for ownership. I'm advocating for ownership on the part of the brands who knew what Honey was saying and decided to use it anyway, even though they knew that essentially that means they were taking part in false advertising. I'm advocating for ownership on Honey's part for shifting their strategy. At first, they were doing exactly what they were saying they were doing. When they shifted their strategy, they should have shifted their messaging. And I think that they did. I think he actually covers this. Okay, so I think he actually outlines here that they did have to change their messaging.
Now, believe it or not, the Better Business Bureau launched an inquiry into Honey's advertising claims. But after Honey immediately discontinued the claims for, quote, business reasons, the BBB decided to drop the case.
Okay, so yes, those advertising claims, once they were like, hey, these are false advertising claims, Honey now doesn't use that messaging anymore. And that was as of 2020. So basically 4.5 years ago, July of 2020. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of brands that maybe weren't complicit in this because the timeline is that they started partnering with Honey after 2020, after Honey wasn't using that messaging. The reason I'm advocating for ownership is because I just don't think victim mentality is ever a good idea. Two, I think that like creators should use this as a warning, right? Instead of just being like, we're the victims here, and everybody in the creator community being like, yes, big faceless Honey, bad, creators, good. We should say, look, we got to take ownership of our part of this, right? We spread messaging. Some of us spread messaging that actually wasn't true and helped Honey scam consumers. And furthermore, like we didn't understand how it worked, and it may have cost us some money. Okay. Is Honey also complicit? Yes, they were giving us messaging that wasn't accurate. They're complicit in scamming consumers as well. But we have to take some ownership. Honey has to take some ownership here. The performance marketers who are using this messaging, knowing that that's not how it works, should take some ownership. But the reason I am advocating for extreme ownership is because videos like this, like, you know, videos from channels like Megalag and CoffeeZilla, who I mentioned earlier, they're sort of like the perma bears of the internet. They're always bearish on something. And most of their videos, they're kind of investigative journalists, and investigative journalists don't do stories about like a plane landed in Chicago, everybody got their luggage and got to their conference on time, right? They don't do stories like that. They do stories where somebody is the bad guy, and they don't do shared ownership. They say, here are the victims. Party one, the creators, they're a victim. I'm just calling this out right now. The creators are a victim. We covered that in episode part 1 of his series. The consumers are a victim. We covered that in part 1. And I'm guessing there's going to be more consumers are victims in part 2, even though consumers probably signed up to have their data shared, right? And the small businesses, they're also victims. I bet everybody, all three parties, the small businesses, the consumers, and the influencers, they're all victims. And the Honey bad, you know, orange logo bad, orange company bad, right? That's what's going to happen here. And that's just not true. And the reason that's important is because when stuff like this happens and there's bad press, the CEO or CMO of Honey comes into work and says, whose head rolls for this? Who gets fired for this, right? And if we're not sharing ownership and we're not saying, well, look, some of it's on the consumer, a little bit, some of it's on the businesses, some of it's on the creators, then basically the CEO says, like, I'm not taking ownership. I need to be able to go to the press and say, I've fired the responsible parties. You know who the responsible parties are? You know who's going to get fired over this? And I'm not even trying to dox anyone here. This is public record, right? Go to LinkedIn, go to Honey, and just find out who their head of performance marketing is. Let's do it. You know what? Let's just do it right now. Who's their head of performance marketing? All right, so here it is. I've got it. Head of performance marketing at Honey. Not the head of, but performance marketing at Honey. Wendy Chack. I'm not trying to dox her. This is just public. She's got this on her LinkedIn profile, right? So when we don't share ownership and we don't say, hey, look, some of this is on the creators. We should have been more aware of this. Some of this is on the consumers. You know, they should have known when they check the box. Like, don't check boxes if you're not willing to assume risk, right? Some of this is on the small, but when we don't share ownership like that, we put it all on Honey. And that simplifies it. And that gives everybody a bad guy. And everybody, all 13 million people who've watched this video get to say, Honey bad, Orange Company bad. And, you know, guess what happens? Performance marketing manager or performance marketer, Wendy Chack, she's the one whose head rolls because of this. She's the one who loses her job because of this, right? Does she deserve that? No, she was actually just doing a really good job of picking great media placements. She did her job incredibly well, right? Marketing associate, Renee Nakamura. Danica Frieres, growth at PayPal and Honey. These are the people, this is the kind of shit that rolls downhill, all right? And these people are down the hill. It's not the CEO. It's not, that's what I'm saying. When you say Orange Company bad, who? who people need a face, right? Bad press, PR, they need a face. They need somebody to blame. You can't blame a faceless organization and think that there aren't faces, that there aren't people inside there that are going to end up shouldering that blame, right? So if we're going to play the blame game, we're going to say something is a scam, which it is. I've acknowledged, yes, there's a scam. We need to share ownership, and that's hard. It's nuanced. It's not as entertaining of a video series. It's not as easy as saying big faceless company that I can't name is bad. And, so I'm going to, and everybody can get on board with, yeah, big faceless company, bad. It's more nuanced than that. Like there's more people at fault here, and there's more shared blame here. That's all. That's my whole point. And I think, everyone involved here, everyone who is kind of complicit in this, directly, indirectly, whatever, should take a little bit of ownership. I'll take a little bit of ownership. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I knew the people directly who were working on these campaigns back at this time period. If it were me, I'll just be honest. If it were me, I would have done the same thing. I would have used the same messaging. I absolutely would have. It would have been my job. And it would have been the KPIs that I was held to. And I wouldn't have thought, you know what, we don't actually give our customers the best discount. Should we really be saying that? I would have said, are we allowed to say that? And then I would have said it. Right. So I'll take some ownership of that, because that's the kind of thing I preach when I teach people when I teach digital marketers. That's the kind of thing I tell them to do. All right. People should not get fired over this at Honey. I think that's what I'm advocating for. And I think this is maybe just a stream of consciousness. I wanted to call out some inaccuracies. I wanted to basically call out, like, look, the influencers weren't scammed out of their money here. They were actually given money as an investment, that maybe they lost future money for. And I also wanted to say, we all need to take some shared ownership if influencers were falsely advertised, or if customers were falsely advertised to here. This is a business comedy podcast. So there wasn't a ton of comedy today. This was basically me just ranting about like how I had been watching this video about Honey and being like, how did you think they made money? So normally I think I'm just going to share, I'm going to share stuff like this. I'm going to try and be a little bit more funny. I have guests on a lot who are a lot funnier than I am. So if you liked this video, comment below, like roast me. Honestly, if you're in the creator community, that's what I'm worried about. The creator community, the digital marketing community being like, no, you're supposed to like stand up for the community here. And I think I've kind of like not done that. So, hit me with your thoughts below. And I hope that future videos from Megalag on this thing are really a call to say, hey, yeah, creators, we got to take a little bit of ownership for this, and we need to like understand how products work before we promote them. Brands, we need to do genuine things, not disingenuous things. Don't work with companies like Honey that, even if it's hard, even if it means that you're going to like give away more dollars in discounts, do the hard work of cleaning up your discounts instead of like being complicit in false advertising. Call for some shared ownership. Don't just put this all on Honey is kind of what I'm saying. Comment below, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on audio, please rate, review. Appreciate you guys. See you next time.